Friends, it's been a while, but you could get 2 weeks of Oath of Endosteel episodes back to back before we have to take another break. And then my understanding is we may take at least one or more breaks in the next month. So, just strap in. It'll be a little while. That said, welcome to the Between Seasons episode where we try Stars Without Numbers first edition to counterpoint versus, I want to call it Star Sector, but that's the name of a video game. Starforge. There we go.
Ironsworn, yes.
Ironsworn. Perfect. There was a positive reception from a few commenters on Starforge and no negative reception. So you got that going for you, Starforge. But let's see if I can really knock it out of the park here with the classic. We're bringing it back to the old school. Kevin Crawford in his prime. No, his prime is now. He's destroying everything. We are also bringing back some classic characters. Champ Finnegan is coming back, as is Michelle. I want to lay out kind of the broad strokes of what this episode will be before I offer something to Eric, and he can either accept that or turn it down and choose something else. You'll all be playing employees of a certain dirty count in the year 3044. Things are advancing. Industry on Whittington is really picking up. Docks have become extremely active. Dropships and jump ships are going out all the time. And with that, criminality walks hand in hand. And for a man who is intimately tied with the docks, he needs criminal enforcers. He already has Michelle, the brains of his operation at the docks. And he's got Champ Finnegan, an enforcer who we know in about 10 years is going to travel to the world of Solaris, where he will lose a Battletech match. But Champ is a skilled Battletech pilot, but he's also a former security guard. But what, and this is where I want to tie Eric's character in, what he really needs is a retired
love
cop.
interest.
No, retired cop. You can make.
It can also be a love interest.
He's married, first off, but he doesn't.
Does that stop Champ Finnegan? I don't understand.
I'm not talking about Champ Finnegan. You listen, if you want to play Champ Finnegan's love interest, that's the two of your own business.
Hey, it could be both. It could be
why not both?
That's also
I'm going to line out a situation that occasionally happens in real life. A police officer who's about to retire in his mid 50s to early 60s finds himself needing a bit of extra cash, and he goes to the people he used to watch and say, hey, I know all the security procedures. I know everybody who's on your people. I know who of your people's on the police payroll, because they've signed nothing that stops them from sharing any of this information. They can also tell you where all the evidence is stored.
This is like
prosecutors are dirty.
A little bit like Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah, it's a little bit like something you might see from Sopranos, Burn Notice, or what's the Breaking Bad. You're a former cop, maybe even a former dirty cop who's now a retired security consultant.
Yeah, security consultant.
I thought perhaps you'd like to be a warrior class who uses the training package of Exchange Enforcer to represent that you are sort of a dirty cop now. But again, you can shade this character however you want. Michelle is an expert. Champ is a warrior. By my understanding of their characters and also looking at their previous character sheets, those are the closest matches. All of you can now turn to page 5 in your is it not 5 anymore? It might only be 5 in the free one. It's page 9, character creation summary. We're going to roll up some quick stats here. You're going to roll 3d6 6 times. And then those are going to go in your 6 stats in order. If those stats aren't good, don't worry about it. We'll talk about how you can improve them. Someone's just rolling a fat pile of dice. Audience at home, if you want to follow along, you can get Stars Without Numbers totally for free from Drivethrurpg, Kevin Crawford approved. Or if you want to pay and throw a little bit of money his way, you can always buy the full core edition or whatever it's called now. It's called Yeah, start as that number's core rulebook.
I have to write down what I already have right now. Otherwise,
Okay.
I have to.
Yes.
I have
You
to,
are
I
gonna
gotta
have to
do it.
recycle. I have to recycle some dice here. Sorry.
Yep.
All right.
I made 3
so-
colors of dice so that all of you could, choose
So
one
we got
color.
13 strength. Okay.
Ooh,
second
8
roll.
decks. All right. I guess I got wounded on the line of fire.
We'll talk. Don't worry about that.
That's 12. Honestly, like most of the numbers are just going to be in the +0 range for most people anyway. So
That's true.
Yep.
Well,
Hey,
someone
hey,
just straight up rolled a 17 right there. Whoever's
Whoa.
red.
Oh, I did?
Did you? Oh, it's not 666. It's 444. My bad. I thought it was 665.
Damn, yeah, that would.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
did
my
get 2
bad.
6s.
Oh.
I did
I
get
was
2
zoomed
6s on my
out.
first roll. No, all right. So
If you right click on the card, it'll pull up.
I've forgotten how to use.
Yep,
This
just
is how
right
long it's been.
click on the card.
Okay.
It'll pull it up, and then you can edit on it.
I'm rolling pretty okay here.
Yeah, I haven't gotten like.
No one's bricking threes out
Crazy
here,
low.
so it's a good start.
That's not bad. I haven't had any great ones, but none. I'll take average all day. In this game, as long as you don't have a minus, you're like not doing too bad.
No, that didn't even.
All right. I
spin.
changed. All right. I got my name.
There we go.
Oh, you
That's
found
really
a
good.
name for yourself?
Yeah. Rick Boyan.
Ooh, that is good. I like that.
I go by Fish. It's my from the field,
Oh wait.
from the force.
Okay, I think I'm good then.
My charisma's only a 6. What is
Okay.
this?
All right, I have mine.
No, that
I'm
sounds
good.
right for Champ Finnegan. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm good with stats. I think AP.
That was my lowest
Um,
roll though, so that was not bad. I got
My
I'll
stats
be
are good
flat
too.
with you. That sounds right for Champ.
yeah. Oh, I need to actually modify one of these. The dexterity is a 13.
Yeah, I think
Okay, cool.
I'm good.
Okay,
I got
so
1 +1 and 1 -1. So that
if
seems like
you have a
overall.
stat that's above 13, you can lower it down to 13 in order to raise a stat that is below 8. I don't think that applies to anybody here.
Wait,
The Fish could raise his constitution by 1 point by lowering his strength. That's about it.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Okay.
Couldn't Champ lower
could do it as well.
Constitution?
Champ could lower his strength or constitution or both to raise his charisma.
so how
can
does that
drop
work?
your-
I'm
You can
planning on
drop-
dying anyways. AP, don't worry.
You
about
can
it.
drop a number that's above 13 to as far low as 13 to give
Oh, I
yourself
see.
a bonus to raise the number up to 8.
So Eddie, here's how you if you want to game this the best
Yeah.
way you can, because you're going to be able to raise one of your core stats to a 14 anyway. So what you should do is you should just lose 1 each from Constitution and Strength, and then if you want Strength to be 14, because that's one of your core stats as a warrior, you can just make it 14 again, and then you'll have 14 Charisma and 14 Strength, but you won't
And then I'll have an 8
I mean,
charisma instead.
right?
Right.
You'll have 14 Con and Strength, and then 8 Charisma.
Thanks for that.
You see what I'm
Okay, cool.
saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So our experts in the house can raise their intelligence or charisma to 14.
If I remember correctly, Michelle was more of a charisma operator than he was an intelligence operator.
I do remember that too.
Famously, he convinced several members of a, let's say, unaligned, slightly hostile faction of Lachlan McDougal haters to get with the picture and join his crusade to save his own life.
Yeah, so I will do charisma as my 14.
Warriors in the house can raise their strength or dexterity to 14. Guess what, Fish? Turns out you weren't that injured, I'm thinking.
Ooh.
It paid for an upgrade with my pension. I got a
Yeah.
new
Got
shoulder.
a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So Dex, what is Dex? I mean,
Dex is shooty, strength is punchy.
I see it. Yeah, I think Goon. Yeah, that fits in Champ a little bit more. I'll go strength.
Okay, so for warriors, once during each combat, you can completely negate a successful roll against yourself as warriors. And you don't have to choose that until after you see the damage. You can literally turn being hit by a tank round into a 0 damage miss. Experts, you get
Is there a good way to reference this? Sorry.
Yes, it's on the warrior page on page 22.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. It's
We're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but
I'm just making a note in my notes so that way I have a good reference for it.
experts, once an hour, you can reroll a failed skill check. So now that we've done that, we are jumping back to page 13, where we're picking skill packages. Now, I've changed the name of the skill packages for certain packages to match Battletech. I think you can pretty much take whichever package you want here. You'll then get a training package under your class, which we will then talk about in a different way.
So the pages are different for me. Like, so 14 is skill checks.
Go one back. It's background packages.
It's back 1 or 2.
Yes.
Oh, background packages. Okay. Yeah, so that's 12 for me. Okay. All right.
So these are going to give you some skills points, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, I see this. Okay.
Do I get only one of these?
You only get one background package to start with, and then you get a training package for your class.
I think security crew might be the best for what we know Michelle to have done. Because he was like working dock security, right?
Security, yep.
Because he was basically like a corrupt customs official.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ultra.
So yeah, he was basically just like helping smugglers get shit through customs. I think security crew is what I'm gonna go with.
Oh, I think I'm just a soldier, aren't I?
Sure.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. What was
soldier
I
is perfectly
doing?
fine.
Yeah. Soldier makes sense.
And so then we pick one of the. Where should we write down our skills, AP? Just on this card or somewhere else?
I can get you a new card if you would like.
That'd be great. Let's do a skills card.
So your skills start at level 0, and they start at no level, and then they go 0 to 5. Although I think you can't start with higher than a level 2.
Correct.
So you shouldn't aim to get higher than a 2 at character creation, because you can't get higher than a 2 at character creation.
Actually, I think you may not be able to go above 1 at character creation.
That's possible. We'll double check the rules.
What I'm almost positive of, we got to double check, but I'm almost positive that your skill level can never exceed your character level.
It's pretty difficult to do anyway. You would really have to be trying quite hard to do it. It's easier to do once you start leveling.
Astrogator's mate. Oh wow.
Yes, that would be someone who helps a jump ship jump.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
All right. I think I'm going to go con artist for my background.
Excellent.
Gunnery crew might make sense too. What did you do? Is that what you did, Sam?
I picked security crew because Michelle was like he was basically like customs and border patrol for Whittington. Like he was mad corrupt. Which like I get like if one of the skills is like culture spacer, I would assume that's like the main thing he used. You know, he knew which spacers were smugglers and helped them kind of get through. Now I get all of these skills from my package, right?
Yes, you get a level 0 in all of those skills.
Perfect.
Let's see. Beautiful. Combat projectile makes sense as well because you get culture, world, and then tactics. Pretty neat. Okay, cool. Armsman could also work. Venture and any 2 skills. Okay, culture world and culture spacer.
Combat any, definitely not lasers. What was the most likely thing that like a random security officer on Whittington would be?
Projectiles.
Projectiles?
Yeah.
Yeah. We love our
over like it's not he wouldn't have like a stun baton or something, so it wouldn't be like melee or whatever.
No, I mean certainly you might, but your Davians shooting people first is
got it. All right, we'll go combat projectile.
All right.
Yeah.
So once you have
hit
your
points.
background package chosen, you then go to your specific class by continuing to scroll and choose their training package.
Oh.
So you'll get a second set of skills based on your overall job. Note that some of the training packages have had their names changed as well. Anything with the word preceptor is replaced with the word Comstar.
I guess I'd just go with persuade. So I just get that skill, right? At 0.
Yes. Yep. Your which package are you taking?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking at the list of skills. My bad.
Yeah. You want to go past the skill list,
right? And because then I get a whole list of skills. Yeah, no, that makes way more sense.
And experts usually get some sort of flex skill.
Yeah, I'm going with criminal.
Projectile, unarmed, cultural world, tactics. I think soldier makes sense. Although transport, actually, what I'm trying to remember Champ Finnegan.
Listen,
I'm getting caught up into it.
You are spending so much time on a one-shot character.
That's fair.
You have scrolled through at least 5 different background packages.
I think I'm gonna do transport specialist because I think that makes a lot of fun.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, I will do criminal as my training package.
And then the other 2 will need to pick from their warrior packages on page 23.
Yeah. Already picked.
What did you pick?
Exchange Enforcer.
Yeah. So instead of Exchange Enforcer, it would just be, like Enforcer. You're
That's fine.
Law enforcement specialist. Culture, any. You can choose, not that it might come up, but they are criminal, great house, spacer, or world. And in this case, world is probably going to be Whittington.
All right, I'll pick world then for that one. I got 1 in culture criminal, so I have a 0 in that, and then a 1 in culture world. I'm gonna pick culture criminal actually, because why not?
Culture skills are your sneaky useful ones because they're basically circles from
It's who you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is cool. Oh. This is where I can get what I was like, kind of the extra stuff that I was thinking, like Space Marine or Mercenary might make sense.
Yes. Like I said, you don't need to spend too long sorting through these.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I have a D8 from hit points?
Yes, you roll a D8 and then add Constitution modifier.
I think I'm just going to go with Space Marine, just make it fun.
Yeah, no, but I don't have a D8 on them.
Oh, you're asking me for a die. Yes, that makes sense. That's some Giga Brain. All right, we'll get a couple of D8s with some D10s, 12s, and 20s, just in case we need them.
Beautiful. I have 2 hit points.
Astronautics.
Oh boy, well, let's assume that you're very old.
Okay, what do we roll for hit points? Just
you're
an
expert. It's a D6 plus.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't matter what you roll. You're dead into a shotgun.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Oh, level 1 character in this game is very fragile.
You're dead.
I got
you're dead to a shotgun.
All right.
4 hit points for a starting expert is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right. Let's see. Nice. Yes. My plan is coming together.
Right.
That actually looks really exactly what Goon would be.
I want to be able to.
That's
Okay, here we go.
I'm the driver, guys.
Can I? Yeah, here we go. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm just gonna use a thermal flare as my gun.
Oh, amazing. Let's see. So I need to do training is the Space Marine. Yeah.
I forgot that in this game you have to buy all of your gear.
Well, hold on, not for this one shot.
Okay, good.
I'm offering everybody. So all of you are issued with the following things. You can choose either woven body armor or armored undersuit for your armor. You start with stun baton, any Tech 0 weapon, melee weapon, sorry, just to represent something to carry, and then you can choose any TL4 gun or rifle.
Okay,
All
wait,
right.
one more.
Or,
So we got
or less.
woven body armor or armored undersuit, any TL4 or less weapon, and then I missed the last part.
Sorry. You get woven body armor or armored undersuit, stun baton, any Tech 0 melee weapon, like knife or club or something.
Or
and then you can
grenade.
choose any one projectile weapon, essentially.
Body armor, stun baton, one melee, and one projectile.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Cat.
Armored undersuit, revolver.
Where's
flare
the
gun.
equipment list?
33, I think, is the start of equipment. Now, we've established that things like laser pistols and laser rifles do exist in the Battletech universe. They're just not super common. They're
here we
like
go.
rich people fancy weapons.
Armored undersuit, encumbrance. I think that makes the most sense. The armored undersuit.
All
So
right,
the
I will go
armored
with-
undersuit in this would represent cops that have light body armor that they would wear underneath their uniform. You know what I mean? So that they would look bulky, but you wouldn't be like, wow, that guy's wearing a full set of tactical body armor.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, is the lower the number better?
Yep.
Got
Yes.
it. Okay, so then the woven body armor would be better. Okay.
The woven body armor would represent something that is worn over top of your outfit. So that number is what's added to your opponent's attack roll when they go to shoot you.
Yeah. They want to roll a 20 to hit
Yeah,
you.
so your low number is better.
I see.
Oh man, I am so going with the fucking spike thrower, and here's my rationale for this:
Oh,
is
man.
that fucking Michelle is entirely the type of person who is not very good with guns, and as soon as they are given a position of power, chooses to have the biggest gun that they are allowed to carry on them.
So, and this, the spike thrower is essentially a Gauss rifle.
Yeah.
It's,
And
it's like a
with-
Gauss shotgun. You just, instead of loading a single projectile, you just load like a ton of like tiny flechettes and just poof it out the end of
it's
the barrel.
a silver. Yeah, it's a silver bullet Gauss rifle.
Yeah, it's a silver bullet
And-
Gauss rifle.
To be clear, his thinking here is not like, oh, this is the most effective gun for shooting people. It's literally like, well, if I have this big gun, there's much more likely that no one's just going to want to fight me, and then I won't have to shoot at all.
Then the clans are like, "Can we borrow that homework?" And then next thing you know, we get hyper assault Gauss rifles.
Oh my god.
No, God,
All right.
don't talk to me. Do not speak to me of the hag.
I'm a hack 30, man.
I'm gonna go for a spear as my tech 0.
You carry a spear with you on duty?
I kind of see it as like a tech staff or something like that, more than a spear, but
Okay.
You don't have to pick a tech level 0 weapon.
what do you mean?
He said it was anything less than tech level 4.
Oh,
No, you can get you get a tech level 0 melee weapon and
Yeah.
Oh,
and a tech level 4 or less projectile rifle.
I see.
Can
projectile weaponry. Okay.
let's see here.
Void carbine. What?
How much damage do you take if you get hit with a grappling launcher?
Oh, what now?
I'm gonna probably say like 1 damage. You know, it's
The
not
launcher
meant-
fires a rope up to 40 meters.
Yes, it's not meant to shoot people. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's supposed to shoot into a rock though. Like,
Yeah, but it
humans notoriously lower on the hardness scale than granite.
Eric,
But it probably
I feel like
just-
you're trying to get a backup gun, and I appreciate the hustle
Look,
here.
I'm already looking at the thermal flare, and I'm looking at a grapple launcher.
Oh my god.
It's a one shot, guys. It's a one shot.
I know that's fine.
Save
Look,
save
I
these
wanna shoot
hijinks in
someone-
ca-
I want to shoot someone with a grapnel launcher so they go out a window and like hold them over the window by
All
their
right,
own
you know
grapnel.
what, Eric?
Sorry, okay,
I'll
no.
buy this. I'll buy it. It
No,
will be a
wow.
one-shot weapon because it takes a long time to reload a grapnel, but it will do equivalent damage to a heavy machine gun.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm not taking it anyways.
Because like a heavy machine gun,
it's
it's
a
meant
thought
to
experiment.
punch
Just
a
a thought
hole through
experiment.
you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Heavy machine gun fucking does a lot of damage.
Yes, but because it's TL3, it's ineffective against certain types of TL4 plus armor.
Right.
I see. Interesting. Okay. And let's see. I have skills. Energy weapons are something I'm
The hell's a
skilled
suit
in.
ripper?
So I feel like
It's like a
It'd
basically it's like a club with like hooks on it. It's like deliberately meant for if you're fighting in space to open somebody's spacesuit.
Got it.
Nasty weapon.
I'm a little sad that I can't grab a thunder gun because that just sounds so fun.
No.
I know it's a tech level 5. I know.
By far, the guns I think are coolest in this game are the shear rifles because they're supposed to basically just be like silent weapons that just like
split
put people in parts.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Okay, so let's see. I think laser. Okay. Oh, okay. So and burst. There's nothing negative against. Oh, it uses up 3
Burst
ammunition.
uses 3 ammunition, and it gives you a +2 to hit, +2 to damage, I believe.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. I think I want to go with I want to go with a laser rifle or a plasma projector, but I'm kind of torn between the two. Because like
I will offer you a laser pistol to go with your projectile rifle. I'm not ready to start handing out tons of laser weapons this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
A plasma projector is literally a handheld PPC.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome.
That's a little outside the scope of Dirty Cops.
So wait, you're offering me what? A projectile?
You get a TL4 projectile weapon, and just for you, because you have energy weapons, you can have a laser pistol as well as a sidearm.
As a treat.
Wow.
As a treat.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
No, it's great. I got an armored undersuit because I wear a normal suit, a revolver, and a stun baton. Because the idea of whipping out a stun baton seems super fun.
Do you have training in melee?
No, but if I'm in combat with somebody, I don't think they have time to ask. that's the question.
Is combat primitive melee? No.
Combat primitive is for tech level 0 equipment.
Oh, sweet.
It's fine. I just roll well.
Knives, swords.
I don't need skills. I just roll a d20 better than you.
Yes, the Joff method. Yes.
Listen, I've played enough games where no matter what I optimize and no matter what I do, I get screwed by variance. So you know what? I'm just gonna lean into it. If variance works my way this time, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll be fine.
Just because I feel like someone needs to have a long range weapon, I'm gonna go with the mag rifle.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, and actually, yeah. Instead of the spear, the stun baton makes I think more sense for Goon.
Okay.
I didn't see it on the list. That's why I didn't grab it.
It's there.
Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, cool. I got mag rifle. All the core things. Oh, I need to know the magazine too. Okay.
We don't need to get back technical and crunchy. If you're firing tons of shots during this one shot, you've probably failed. All of you work for Count Lachlan McDougal. These times have been trying for him. He's on the political outs locally and has, in almost in a ironic and perhaps karmically fitting way, essentially inherited the position of the man he brutally murdered and framed, Sebastian Bassett, as the new crime lord, subtle crime lord of Whittington. He has had his aide, Sarah O'Donnell, acting as a interface for you. She is his consigliere so that if you get snatched, none of you can, implicate him back. That said, these orders tonight are coming from the top. It's 2 a.m. as you travel into the northeastern side of the city, out into the open plains, where there is a certain estate for a certain former law enforcement / aerospace pilot / noble who is retiring herself from public life. There's a light woods around her mansion, and your job tonight is to infiltrate that mansion, get data off of her personal server network, and then, if you can, as a bonus, sabotage her aircraft, her personal aircraft. You know that the next guard change is making their way through these woods, through the road, to the manor tonight. And the plan is one of the guys in the car is going to stop, take a smoke break or take a leak or something to give you all the opportunity to eliminate the other men inside, take their uniforms, and join him in infiltrating the manor.
Okay. Cool.
Eddie, you look like you're still writing things down.
No, I was just writing the stats for this. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. I want to know what I want to believe that this is some sort of gull-winged Crown Vic, like retired space police car that, you know what I mean? Like, you took your service car with you when you left. The three of you are waiting at the top of a hill nearby, looking out over the road, maybe smoking or just killing some time. Tell us what the three of you look like and whose car is this?
Oh man, I feel like I mean, okay, so curiously, stats wise, I'm definitely a driver. So I feel like I'm the one driving. I don't know whose car it is though.
I think it's your car, and then I guess the side of it has a faded logo that says something like Crystal Palace, because that's the name of the spaceport. And space station, like Crystal Palace Security Division, but it's so faded, it's clear that you haven't worked there in about 10 years.
Yes, yeah, and I feel like there's like maybe another like logo on the back that says like transport, it's like part of the transport division. So, and that's now what he does. He transports things. Yeah, and so Champ is got some is it nighttime?
Yep, 2 a.m.
Okay, so has probably some kind of like, I was gonna say sunglasses because that's just like where my mind was at, with like just him being just this kind of a little bit out there guy. And then he's wearing that woven suit of armor on top as kind of like, oh yeah, I'm on the job. I'm transporting something. I need to be protected to make sure that I can get the goods there. They've got like a little bit of scruff. They haven't shaved in a while. They've got I think a cap that's definitely a little ratty from when they used to work at this security guard or security division, and they bulked up a bit since like they left. So I feel like the uniform that's like underneath has a little bit of like a bulge to it because it's too tight on him.
Okay.
Michelle is also wearing his old 10-year-old uniform, and it's also tight on him, but only very specifically around the waist and stomach. I feel like I remember describing Michelle, if I remember correctly, from my original inspiration from Michelle, he's got a kind of like big, gruff kind of look to him. Maybe more bark than bite. I think he's got like the beard. I don't think he looks a whole lot different than the last time we saw him, except that his uniform doesn't fit quite as well and is much older.
I want to imagine he has like a broom stash.
Yeah,
inexplicably.
For sure.
That's how we know time has passed for him.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I will add that like Champ's jaw is like somehow more chiseled.
Amazing. Eric, what can you tell us about the fish, the only real police officer in this corrupt cop group?
Yeah. What's the name of the capital?
They renamed it to, what was the first name of the wise old
Lake?
mech pilot who died in battle? Yeah.
Genji?
No, what? He's still alive. The Lake family's protector house.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Reinhardt.
Irwin. Yeah,
Reinhardt.
it's now called
Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's called Irwin City.
Irwin City.
It was
Irwin
changed
City.
as a result after the battle. I very briefly mentioned it.
Yeah. I remember when this place was called Lake City. You know, so this was smokes from his cigarette. Yeah.
I can imagine him now just from that line.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
Definitely like 50s. I mean, literally just like wearing I'm not necessarily like a sport coat, but definitely is like maybe like a bomber jacket kind of thing, right? Like somewhere that you could place him either like at a ball game or like if he put on a hat, you know, he could just disguise himself and kind of go anywhere. So he has a sort of just like, he's almost like is descriptively inconspicuous, right? Almost by design. But I think the most important thing about him is that while he's lamenting about the changing times, he definitely has a sense, or so maybe has a little bit of a romantic streak about the olden times. He has a cold professional demeanor about the jobs that he does. He knows he's not happy about it or sad about it. This is just the way things are.
I feel like Champ, like as we're like panning across each of the characters, I think at one point Champ just like tosses out like an old piece of like like finds something that was like left in the car from way back when. It's like, oh yeah, remember this? And this is back in, I think, when you were still in the force.
I look it over.
And
this is
just,
some kind of
it's
fishing
like
magazine. What is it?
No, it's like a like respect the badge or like respect the like a commemoration of like of the cops and like, oh yeah, you know, the cops are good, like, you know, watch out for your neighborhood kind of memorabilia of just like this badge, this old like maybe a dashboard magnet for the car.
Another useless participation trophy.
Sure. Yeah.
He hashes his cigarette in your car. No, I'm just kidding. I have decorum.
There's a tray right there.
Yeah. That's all right.
Three of you hear the sound of a approaching engine as some sort of like classic Land Rover with like a built-in roll cage on the outside, the kind that like SWAT officers will hold onto as you're rolling up on a residence. But the roll cage also is built into like roof storage as well.
When you're a VIP as getting escorted out of an embassy at 6 and you got to make it and you have a trip to like the Colorado Rockies for a ski resort at 7.
Well, this is a noble's, guardsman.
Yeah.
It's a luxury guard vehicle. You're
it.
waiting for them to stop the vehicle and almost like past where your strike zone is. It finally rolls to the side, and the contact for you, a female officer with like short brown hair, just gets out of the vehicle and starts vomiting. The other 3 occupants get out. The driver like puts his hands door and roof and just is like, okay, somebody needs to check on her. And like the 2 who get out of the back are just like, one of them's like, all right, just get it all out. Get it all out. So you guys are probably like 20 or 30 meters away, sitting in a dark vehicle at the top of a hill. There's some light woods between you and your targets, but yeah, you know, like your job is to kill these 3 people and then hide the bodies and steal their uniforms. How you want to do that's up to you.
Michelle just looks at the other 2 and just goes, well, time to make some money. Goes to get out of the car.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And I think like the Champ just like picks up the mag rifle or the rifle and it's like, I mean, should I start the show? Is mag rifle like super loud?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to be stealth. We're trying to be stealthy
It's
here.
gonna be incredibly loud.
Okay.
How stealthy you want to be is up to you and your crew.
Yeah. I'm just like surroundings wise. Are we kind of in a rural area?
You are absolutely in a rural area. No one else will probably respond to a gunshot out here. That said, once you start shooting, this whole group is going to know that they're being shot at.
Do we have like sirens and lights and stuff?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to just, I think actually, instead of getting out, Michelle's just going to look at Champ and say, now, you know how this goes. We got to pull them over, Champ. And remember, this time let me do the talking, because when you talk to them, you get this like kind of connection with them. You don't want to make a connection with them, Champ. We're here to kill them.
But I like to make friends.
They're not our friends. Just turn on the lights. I'll handle the talk.
All right. And I think Champ like hesitantly puts the gun back into their like middle slot where they store it just in case. And then like whoop whoop comes down to we'll say like
you have your front lights on.
No, so
okay,
like
so you just whoop whoop with the siren and yeah.
No,
okay.
I approach and the whoop whoop happens as I come up behind and yeah.
They're
trying to do
weirded
that
out by this. You know, 2 of them like grab flashlights and are just like, what the fuck? And they're like flashing your car real quick. They're intentionally like getting it in your eyes.
Michelle will be
Champ
like,
puts on his sunglasses.
Fish, you want to back me up here? Champ, keep the car running.
No issues here as I put out my cigarette and grab my revolver, I guess.
Okay.
Michelle's going to get out and like have his own flashlight that he's like shining back at them.
All right. This is the situation right now. The Land Rover has all 4 doors open. Your contact, whose name you don't know, is the female passenger in the front right part of the car. She is currently vomiting into the like ditch alongside the road, and both of the rear passengers have come out. One of them has crossed around behind the car. Both of them are flashing their flashlights towards you. It's hard to see because, again, you have 2 flashlights pointed towards you. But with the ambient lights around the car from having all the doors open, you can see that the driver is approaching you and has put their right hand on like a stun taser and has a hand up and is saying, sorry, what department are you guys with?
Now, don't you worry. This is just a routine stop. We saw something was going on over there, and seems y'all need a little help, I think. And
we've got this handled. And he goes to take his left hand and reach into a uniform suit pocket. I'm going for my badge.
Yeah, I'll have to inspect that badge there.
Okay.
What was
He
that
continues
name again?
to walk towards you, and he flips the badge out. He says, the name is Steve Gary. This is from the name Steve Gary is from a ancient bet that I made with Sam that you couldn't have a character people would like with 2 first names.
I
Yeah,
like
so
Steve.
he just approaches you. He's got a right hand still on the stun gun and is approaching you. He's got his badge out that indicates that he's noble security. And he's just like, listen, buddy, you know, our jurisdiction supersedes you out here. I'm just going to need you to put the flashlights down. I'm going to need to see your identification.
I don't know who you're calling buddy. Once I take a look, I've had fake IDs getting tossed out here left and right.
Okay, let's remain calm.
While Michelle starts to make a fuss, he's gonna like kind of give the signal to fish, right? Like, you know, he's causing the distraction. So yeah. Michelle's basically going to make a whole big fuss about this jurisdictional issue and just like start like trying to get into well, I don't know about your jurisdiction. I think, you know, who are you to ask for my ID? I'm asking for your ID. I haven't even looked at this badge yet.
Is this code for me to stun baton him, or am I supposed to be sneaking out of here?
I think maybe I was thinking like, because we have the target is like this woman, right? So I think his idea is like while he's distracting her obvious guards, you go for the lady.
So
just remember, you need their uniforms in order to sneak onto the estate.
Yeah.
So there are 3 guards currently.
There are 3 guards.
She's vomiting on the ground.
2 of them are helping her, and the driver is moving towards you and is asking for your identification.
Actually, you know what, Eric? I think that what Michelle is doing is giving you the signal, and how you interpret that is entirely up to you.
Oh no!
Come on, man!
Eric
Don't do me.
This is a wild man.
Yeah.
Michelle is causing a scene, and he's just gonna let it happen.
Oh my god! I think Champ like sees the signal, and is like, "Oh, that to me sounds like it's time for me to get out and like check on you to make sure everything's okay." It's like,
so you open the door and get out of your car.
I roll down the window and I say, "Everything okay out there?"
Yes, sir. I'm gonna need you to step out of the vehicle.
Hold on there. We're still working out this jurisdiction thing. I haven't even got a chance.
With him asking me to come out, I come out.
Okay.
Are you carrying your rifle when you do it?
No, but I have a stun baton in my back pocket and my laser pistol on my side.
All right.
I was kind of hoping we could do a plan where can we extend this sickness thing to have been that they all are going to get sick?
It's just
and that be a roll.
It's just
that they've been poisoned.
No, she is faking being sick so that they had a reason to pull over.
Oh,
okay. What if they didn't? What if we poisoned them as a flashback?
You know what?
I'm thinking too much.
Let's do it. No, that's good. And you are a criminal, so I feel like you could pull this off. The first thing I'm going to ask you for...
We just poisoned our contacts? That's hilarious.
We poisoned the whole car.
Yep.
Including the one who's helping us. Awesome.
I want to start this flashback with a culture criminal roll.
I couldn't trust him.
This will cover you getting... so you'll add your charisma bonus to this, which is a 0. Yep. You need to hit the minimum, which is a 7 in first edition, I believe. And you got how many points of culture criminal do you have? You just have a +0?
2.
So
I got 1 in it.
Okay, so you have a +1. So just for folks at home, I know 2 sounds weird getting a +1, but you have
that's a chill 12.
You start at a 0, and then the second level is 1.
Right. So my second, I have 2 ranks in it. So my score, So my final roll here is like, hey buddy, are you sure you're not feeling? You don't look too good. And like, you know, then they like kind of keel over, or they puke in front of it. You know what I mean? Like that's when I want to go to the car. You know what I mean?
I want to do black and white flashbacks where it's like you smoking, talking. You're like, hey, listen, buddy, I let you out of the joint that one time, you know, to see your mother. I need you to respect that favor. And then you're like getting these steaming chemical vials that just look ridiculously like coming out of it, and the side of it has like a skull on it. you're like pouring it into a
Coffee.
bunch of
A therm.
coffees, and your contact is like winking and like taking 4 coffees to the group, and she pours it in 3 of them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy sees you stepping out, Eddie. He sees Champ stepping out, and he's just like, "Look, sir, I need you to put your hand. I need all of you, all 6 of you to put your," and then he collapses.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna uphold this 12 and say the other 2 also collapse. I'm not gonna make, but
anyone who drank the coffee.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let you. They're not dead. Well. They're just unconscious. If you want to kill them, you're gonna have to actually kill them.
Right. I prefer not to kill people. It's easier.
So, Michelle is just gonna start stripping them of uniforms.
Yeah. And as soon as they're stripped, like I think Champ just like ties them up, like there's rope in the back, and like we toss them into the back of these old junker carts. And it's like, that's a really nice vehicle they've got.
I think Michelle is gonna look at you 2 and just go, well, hold on. Was the job to kill these guys, or the job was just to get the uniforms?
I mean, if you don't kill them, someone's gonna report that, they're going to wake up at some point and be like, yeah, we were stopped by a bunch of other cops.
Yeah, so unless you guys try to stop Michelle, he is going to just go ahead and do the deed.
No way. Hold on, because the idea is that we're one-shot characters, but we also don't want to have like a security team level of heat for murder tracking us for the rest of our lives.
But if they but the whole point is that we're supposed to just make them disappear.
No, the goal is just to get the uniforms. They're stranded in the middle of the wilderness, naked with nothing.
Hold on. Let's be real clear here.
Yeah.
If the idea here is to make sure that no heat gets on these characters, they off these people and hide them in the woods.
I have an idea.
There's way less heat that comes down if they don't get reported than if they do.
No, there's a whole freaking like security apparatus that's going to go like investigate why these people were on a job and then they weren't there and then they'll find the body. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole,
what do you got?
Anyways, I don't want to fight about this, dude. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So the idea here is like we put them in the car like they were us, and then we send them somewhere that's hard to find, potentially explode the car and kind of like fake our deaths.
That's fine. Yeah, well, I mean, you're right, Eric. There's no point in arguing.
Has this become the last job then? This is you faking your deaths before retirement and leaving the planet with a big payout?
Oh, actually, yes. I think that's what it is. It's because let's say the gang has all realized that Lachlan McDougal is on the downturn. Yeah, like it's time for us to get out of Dodge.
This is Michelle's plan to get us new identities and get out of here. Yeah,
we have contacts in the periphery.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love it.
Okay, that is the perfect. I'm in for that.
Okay, yeah,
you
that makes sense.
Them in your car with your uniforms on.
Yep.
Molotov it, and then use a brick to send it over the side, or just put it in neutral and push it over the side or something.
Pretty much.
Just enough so that the car will crash at the bottom of a cliff. It won't be found for a long time. The bodies will be horribly burned. And whatever wasn't burned will have been eaten by carrion.
And hopefully, like, there's
no one investigates too
nice
much.
Scatter. Yeah.
Hopefully somebody just thinks that like one of our like corrupt scams, blew up in our faces.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no bullet wounds, so even if they find some flesh, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, these guys were shot in the back of the head." All right, I'll buy that. While this is happening, your contact is just like finishes cleaning her mouth out. It's just like, oh, you guys took long enough. What's with throwing the car over the cliff? You don't need that to go home?
You got questions? Are you here to talk questions, or are we here to get this job done?
Just get in the vehicle. Who's driving?
That'd be me.
Okay. Do the speed limit. She is considerably younger than all of you. She's like 25. Her uniform actually fits, unlike the 3 of you.
Champ's like, I definitely have to take the biggest guy, whoever the biggest guy is.
I don't know that your uniform doesn't fit Fish, but the problem is that you're really pushing an active duty security guard look at your age, sort of deal. after you're all in the car, she says, "You've got weapons. You're all good to go.
Radio.
Anybody here skilled at hacking, computer programming, anything like that?" Yeah, okay. I'll do that part. She slaps a hand on the inside window and says, "Just drive."
Cruising. And I feel like this is when Champ puts on the shades and just like at the consternation of probably this lady who's like, "What? Who is this guy?" But it doesn't bother me.
When you get to the gatehouse for this particular estate, she says, "All right, hand them this." She hands you over like a gray slate thing that's got a couple papers clipboarded to it. I need you to be cool.
Wait, I do the handing?
Yeah, you're the one in the driver's seat.
You're driving.
Oh, right. Sorry. All right. Grab the papers.
She turns to look in the backseat and goes, "Is he going to be okay?"
He's fine. He's just very dumb.
And then just like there's like a big ripple of my muscle. It's like it's fine. Oh, cool. All right, thanks.
You get to, a big gate that has the word in the gate in what's that type of cast iron? It says Lafayette.
Oh my god.
And the gate guard's just like 2:30. You guys are a little behind.
We had
He looks a little old to be a trainee.
We had a little mix up, but we're all right at Rain.
You do realize that age is a protected class in the Federated Suns, right, son?
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you make a roll on this one because he's starting to get suspicious, but this is a good way to back him off. Sure.
Is this persuasion? Is this security?
I would buy either, actually. I would also buy you don't have I would also buy culture criminal.
I have best at either security or persuasion, so I'll go with security.
Charisma bonus.
So I'm at a +2. I had a +1 from charisma and +1 for security, so +2.
How do I calculate these skills? Because you guys are all saying these modifiers, and I'm like,
okay, so your stats, anything is it 13 or above is a +1?
Yeah.
14 or above.
14 or above. So you have a +1 in strength and +1 in constitution, and you have a 0 to everything else. Any skill that you have, you start at 0, and if you get it twice, you go +1 for every extra amount you have.
So wait, +1 is 13 or above?
No, +1 is 14 or above.
Oh, got it.
That was my mistake. So you will have +1 to anything you roll strength or constitution with, and you have a 0 in all of your skills because you didn't double any up.
Oh, I see.
What did you end up throwing? Is that an 8?
I got a 6 +2 is an 8.
Okay. Yeah. So you get a look of a man who just is like, doing motherfucker internally. It's like, yeah. It's just office talk, boys. Just office talk. No big deal.
Of course, you're just breaking balls. I get it.
Yeah.
I give him a punch in the shoulder, and it like hurts a little bit.
Okay. He signs off on the paperwork and says, "All right, you're going to go into the service entrance of the mansion. Second door on the left is going to be security HQ. Just get signed in there and we'll get you transferred into the barracks." Yeah, welcome to the team, guys. Look forward to having you.
Roger. Roger.
He hands back the piece of paper, the slate, and the door slowly opens. You are driving down fairly well-maintained asphalt road that slowly curves as it approaches a austere mansion. It's got a small garden outside, a little hill with some like stone plinths, and a large functional airfield, spaceport airfield.
Since we're turning on pavement, do we have to roll the skid?
No. If your vehicle weighed 50 tons, maybe. It is a Land Rover.
Oh, right.
Also, I would only make you roll if your wheels were actually legs. The nightmare of a four-legged car.
Oh my god.
You could see that the airfield has two airstrips, one going one way and another going crosswise from it, perpendicularly. And at the intersection of those two cross rises, there is a small tower with some communications equipment. And then along one of the runways, there are two hangars and some sort of fueling depot. The mansion has a large turning around area in the front, and like again, it's very austere front, decorative front face. As you drive around it, you get to the side, which is for deliveries and security personnel, and it kind of looks like the basement area you enter into is a concrete box.
And I'm assuming that's where I'm driving towards. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think is there, let's see, how would you guys want to manage, because what's our objective here is what, to steal something from here?
Your primary objective is to get inside, get contact with the server, pull some piece of information out.
Got it.
And then your secondary objective, if you want an additional payout, is go to the hangar and disable Audrey Lafayette's personal aerospace fighter. Just remove something from it that would keep it from being able, like mid-flight, she'll be like, oh no, something is broken. Now I shall die colliding with the Earth.
Question, tech astronautics, is
that'll
that
do it.
relevant?
Yep, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. That is exactly the skill you would use.
But we got to get the data first.
Got it.
I mean,
so
as you say that, your companion says, do you guys need to split off two teams, or are we all going in?
I mean, if you want, I can go to the hangar.
Champ, why don't you and Fish take the hangar job? I'll take the data.
Yeah, I'll take the data, and you'll make sure nobody bothers me.
Whatever you prefer.
Okay. So as we're going to follow this female officer and Michelle as she's walking towards the door, and it's got like a security swipe thing, but someone's just like going out to their car and is just like, oh, hey, night guys, and just holds the door for you guys to enter in.
Amazing.
That's a good joke, because that's literally my experience with every like security locking system at any facility I've ever worked in.
So true.
No comment.
It's called social hacking.
I worked on a U.S. military base once, so no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Big time no comment. Yeah, so we just kind of stroll in.
Yeah, you stroll in. She goes to the second door and sees, people in there. There's like one pretty tired looking guy who just like looks up and goes, oh, they're like 2:45. We're getting, who comes up with these security schedules? And then there's one less tired guy who is hawkishly going over a monitor system. And he stops the two of you and he says, why are your two friends going to the hangar?
Our trouble.
I can make a roll if needed, but because I have security background, can Michelle come up with like a name of like a notoriously pain in the ass officer type? Like somebody who's known to be like kind of a hard ass and like to like that everybody be like, oh, old what's his name's at it again.
Yeah,
like I've
okay.
pulled
I
double whatever.
I'm with
duty.
you now. I got it. Yep. They got to go check the sumps or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's standard procedure. Yeah. Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. And then while you were doing that, I talked to Eddie's
9.
character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being like, all right, we're checking the sumps in, you know what I mean? Or whatever, like for like the 10 seconds it takes. And
Yeah,
So if they're
yeah.
looking on the camera, it looks like.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I want to go into the camera and follow the two of you walking towards the hangar.
Okay, got it.
So
Okay, yeah.
you're crossing like an airfield. Probably you look left or right. Just make sure there's no planes landing in the middle of the night.
Yeah, like we're not going to see a damn plane. Okay.
You know, the airfield has the sequential lights of like white lights that flicker to show like this is the way you should be going.
Yeah.
The two of you cross over. You have a quick conversation about checking the sump pump. There are one of the hangars is closed. The other one is the doors are open, and you can see that Audrey's Lucifer is there. Like it's got one of its wings has been removed and isn't currently being worked on and is held in place by like chains. The aircraft itself does have someone in the cockpit. You could see that there's like that night vision green glow on their face as they're like flipping through the computer system. They see the two of you coming in through the door and they up nod you and grunt, but they don't like pull the canopy open or anything.
Okay, cool.
So, big wide open hangar. You could see that there's a place for fuel pump. There's a place for ammunition to come from an underground storage bunker. You like, you know, you ride an escalator down there. You put ammunition on it. You ride it back up to the surface level. There's also a small like mechanics workshop and a enclosed, like if there's bad weather, you know, you go into like a room where you can sit down essentially with like a TV and a radio and a desk.
Okay. I think Fish and I are talking about like protocol and this hard ass that's like asked us to do something. Like I think this is like part of the plan.
Yeah. So maybe like in that moment it like jumps back and like he's Michelle's like talking to that guy and he's like, oh, old Johansson's on the warpath again. He made him go check the sumps. He's got a real bug up his ass about vehicle maintenance these days. Just be careful.
This guy looks at you weirdly because he's wondering how you know about old you're the old Johansson. I assume that this is like a cultural code word in the same way we'd be like, goddamn green Louis out there in the field in Vietnam just fucking shit up.
Oh my god.
Butter bars.
So true, dude. So true.
Yeah, but he's looking at you weirdly, and you can tell he's doing the calculus of how does someone whose first day on the job that started just right now, literally 10 seconds ago, know about all this. But he then determines that he's a minimum wage worker in a fancy estate, and it's really not his job to figure these things out. He just goes, all right, you guys will be assigned to 302 and 303. Here are your room keys. I need you to sign here for your security certification. These badges aren't going to get you anywhere. You got to go through processing tomorrow morning.
All right.
11 a.m. Be awake. Be dressed.
You know it.
Okay.
Jump back over to this.
Yeah, so the two of you have free reign in this. But remember, there is someone actually in the plane.
Right. And I mean, are there active cameras in this hangar?
There isn't a camera inside of it, but there is one pointed to the entrance of it.
Got it. Okay. That makes it a little bit...
It can't see inside, but it could see when you leave.
Okay, cool. Okay. Tactically, what I would like to know, or maybe like this is at Tech Astronautics or something like that. What I would like to know, does this plane have a way for us to disable the thing that we need to disable without alarming the person in the cockpit?
Questionable. That will definitely require a roll.
Okay. And then Fish and I would know what we're capable of. You know, anything that you can help here with, Fish, in terms of sneaking around, doing anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Anything you want, man. Sneaking around, talking to people, beating people up, whatever you need. I'm your spaniel.
You'll be his Huckleberry.
Would you be a distraction?
I can absolutely be a distraction. I'm an old man. I've fallen. I can't get up.
Yeah, because I think like Goon is very single-minded, so they'd probably like go and do the thing that Michelle asked them to do, to like pretend to do. And then they like circle around and try to inspect the vehicle to find that like thing that they need to disable.
Okay. How do you want to do the distraction? We should do that first.
Yeah.
All right. My goal, my intentions here is to get the person out of the cockpit, right? It's to stop their diagnostics or whatever. That's my goal.
That's one way to do it. Yeah, that's one way to do it.
All right.
Because that can lead to a couple of things.
Yeah. What's a good innocuous question I should ask somebody before pointing a gun at them?
You smoke?
Oh my god.
You vape, bro?
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you got a light? Yeah, in a freaking jet plane.
Or something about
Honestly,
like,
dude, no, that would absolutely stop a technician. Imagine me pretending to try to light up a cigarette in an airplane hangar.
while they're fueling.
Yeah, that would do it. Okay. There you go. There's my
I love
distraction.
the idea of a totally dark hangar. And you're... All right, so
Yeah.
it takes a few seconds for the person in the cockpit to like figure out what's going on, and then they roll the cockpit back, and then, hey, you can't smoke in here. This is a workspace. There's a fuel canister 2 meters away from you. What are you doing? And he like pulling himself out. He's coming down the like pilot gantry ramp. And it's just like, first off, who even are you?
I look at him and actually like inhale from the cigarette that I lit up, right?
Yeah.
Just like for a long enough time. I'm not gonna shoot him, but I really do want to.
Do you have the stun baton?
I do as well. I'm skilled at it, I think.
And I say, sorry, can I finish this one?
No, absolutely not.
All right.
What's your processing number?
All right. Yeah. I put it out on the ground and then hit him with my stun baton. I'm like, all right.
You puts that on the ground and comes up and stun baton him.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Boom.
So
and
he's not
in,
wearing
like, one
any
motion.
armor. So let me hold on here and check
Oh my
to see
god.
what your bonus is. I think it's a plus 9.
Oh, I'm rolling a d20, not
Yes,
2d6.
you are rolling
Yeah.
a d20.
Oh, that's
great.
weird.
It's
I
not
don't have a
wearing
d. Oh, there you go.
anything, so you get a plus 9. You get plus strength.
Nice. And plus
primitive
1, right?
weapons.
So it's a d20 plus your target's armor class, your combat skill, which is going to be combat primitive,
-1.
a tribute modifier for strength,
1.
and attack bonus. You are a warrior, so you get a plus 1.
1.
Oh,
All right.
What's your total here?
My total is not 20.
Should
Can
be
I warrior
11.
reroll?
The warrior doesn't let you reroll attacks. It lets you reroll an attack against you.
It should
Okay,
be
how do I
plus
miss?
11. He should be at plus 11 because it's 9 plus 1 for.
Yeah, I rolled a 17.
So he sees the swing coming, I think is what happens. You know what I mean? Like you come up with it and he like stumbles backwards. He's like, oh fuck, shit, fuck. This guy is unarmed. It's not like he has a weapon or anything.
I mean, would I have been able to come out
She'll let me finish my
and just
cigarette.
like get him from the back?
Yeah.
You want to hit him with the stun baton as well?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you make one more attack before we start rolling for initiative.
Okay.
Okay. So you are looking at plus 9 to your roll to start with. Your combat
It's a
skill and
D20.
primitive is a 0.
Oh, thanks.
Your
like,
strength
where are D20s?
modifier is plus 1,
Yep. So
So you're
strength
at it.
modifiers,
and you're a warrior as well, so you're at a plus 11.
and I do have his skill in primitives.
Yes, that only gets you to 0 though. The
Right,
first
okay.
level of skill gets you to 0. If you
Right.
don't have a skill, you take a -1 in it, which is quite
Right.
bad.
Okay, so what am I rolling then? What am I trying to
You're
hit?
rolling a d20 plus 11. You need to hit a 20.
Okay,
You need a 9 or higher.
I got a 9.
That is 9. Roll damage for
9
stun
is-
baton.
9 is God. I think it's a D8.
Yeah.
It is a d8,
Well,
and it will
that's
deal
a
shock
lot
damage
of
or whatever.
damage.
I got an 8.
Yep, you got him.
Oh,
He's. I don't want to say
He's
stumbling
backing away
backwards.
from me.
He's
right
backing
into
away. You
He
get
literally
him
walks into my
directly.
baton.
You get him exactly at the back of his neck where the spine is meeting. As he hits the ground, like a clipboard clatters, as does like a small note pewter that he was working with.
Look,
all right.
You can't disrupt Fish when he's trying to smoke. Like, I'm sorry.
I tried to warn him. I like pick him up off of you and like get ready to carry him into like, you know, the utility closet or like, you know, whatever a place that would make sense. So is out of sight.
Yeah. And then I just get to work on the plane. And we'll inspect to see if there's anyone else there. Hopefully not.
In this area? No, there's nobody else here.
Yeah. So then I would get to work on the plane, try to disable the thing.
Let's make that tech astronautics.
Is there like a way that I'd be able to like set myself up for this? I'm just trying to figure out the system. Like is Fish able to give me a help action or something like that?
I will allow that. He can give you a +1 towards this.
Okay.
So you're rolling 2d6 plus. I think I would accept dexterity or wisdom, whichever is better for you.
I think they're
both
roughly
zero.
the same.
Yeah,
They're both zeros.
All right, so you're rolling a +1, looking to hit a 7 minimum.
Okay.
The odds are with you, but they're not the best they could be.
I got it. That's a
Okay,
9.
You got a 10 total. Yep. All right, so yeah, you look. There are certain parts of an aircraft that I'm not going to discuss in a way that can be recorded that can be removed that are critical to flight midway through an aircraft. And you, as a tech guy, know exactly what they are. In the process, you're like green. You go into the cockpit, you make sure everything's like green lit. You make it look like this aircraft should be able to take off and fly correctly.
Yep.
And this thing is basically time bomb. Like 30 minutes into the flight, the wings at the height, at the altitude she's going to be flying at, they're just going to start icing and they're not going to stop.
Nice. That sounds fun. Yeah, and I think I just look over to the Fish. So what should we do with the guy in the closet?
Don't worry about him.
He's gonna wake up eventually.
So what is he going to remember?
That's fair. He's gonna remember that you smoked and took a swing at him.
Exactly. So like I'm not worried about him at all.
It's our last job. It's fine.
Right. How'd you get on with the plane?
Oh, she's all green.
All right, good.
And I think there's like, if there's anything like of value here that like I would know from that tech astro.
There's a whole aerospace fighter here.
Wow, yeah, but
there's
I'm
this
not
guy's
gonna
tools. I mean, you could probably make a cool 100,000 if you wanted to steal a shit ton of ammo if you had an ammo truck.
No, I think it's gonna be hard with the cameras. Yeah, I think we just walk out.
Okay. You're just gonna leave this guy stuffed into the maintenance hangar closet.
I mean, how long is he knocked out for?
Yeah,
I'll say like 8 hours.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I mean, are we gonna be out of here by then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You should be out of here in like the next.
Yeah, listen,
10,
if he wakes up and we're still here, we're already fucked anyway. So like, it doesn't matter. It's like the way I can see it. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's either the ghost, right, where you're just not caught or not seen. But yeah, that's all good. Yeah, so I think we're like, some look good, and we walk back to the car.
Michelle.
Yes.
You and the young officer are making your way down. She pulls out a second security badge and is like, okay, I've got what it takes to get to her office. All right. I need you to make sure that no one approaches us during this. If we're seen, we need to make sure that they're dead. I'm not going to speak in euphemisms. If someone approaches us, kill them.
Understood.
Keep it quiet if you can. She starts swiping you through doors.
Just readies the stun baton.
She sits down behind Andre Lafayette's desk and plugs in. So in this period of Battletech, technology consists of like 5 floppy disk drives is considered a high transfer rate of data. So she plugs in like a serial connection floppy disk drive and plugs like a floppy disk in, and she's like, all right, I'm ready to begin the transfer.
Oh my god.
Technology. Man.
Oh boy. It's a zip drive.
He's working in DOS.
This is before zip drives, man. This
This is before zip drives for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Zip drives way too data dense for this.
Yeah.
Zip
Oh,
drive is
man.
clan technology.
This is an Apple. This is an Apple II. You know, this has like
Yeah,
Oregon Trail on it.
This reminds me of talking to like some of the really old network engineers where they used to talk about they talk about doing the sneaker soft transfers where they just
Oh
took
my
one
God.
floppy and
Yeah.
walked it across the building.
That's
to the-
actually still the fastest way to transfer data is to just ship it in the form of taking the disk drive and carrying it to a new location.
That's what the
It's
snowflake
always
is. That's the whole concept.
no. It's always it's a question of volume over throughput. Right.
Mm-hmm.
While this is happening, she's just quietly talking to you. She's just like, so you really look like you're doing this whole one last job thing, you know, putting your own vehicle over the edge, taking the guys out. The boss know about this?
I had
I get
hoped
it.
that this conversation was going to come up later.
Oh, okay.
The boss doesn't seem to be in a position to help folks like you and I for much longer. And when people like him go down, people like us don't tend to do very well. Now, the way I see it, you got 2 options. You could stay here, go down with McDougal, or it seemed like you got a pretty decent set of skills, very complementary with my little group here. Could have a place for you.
She brushes a loose strand of hair behind her ear and says, yeah, I think I work pretty well with this group.
Excellent news. Now, I am obligated to inform you that people have tried to double cross me before,
She
and I'm
stands up,
still
goes,
around.
She starts pointing out into the hallway.
I mean, do I hear anything?
Do you turn and go to stop talking and listen?
No, because I'm very concerned that she's gonna fucking shoot me in the back.
Okay. I mean, she's frantically pointing behind you, right? Just
Do I hear anything?
let's make some sort of what passes for
There's
perception.
perception.
Yeah, let's make a perception roll.
All right, I have 0 perception. I'm guessing this is like wisdom. Really? Yeah, so this is just gonna be a +0.
Hell yeah. You're an
That's double
expert,
once.
right?
Yeah, it's
Oh
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's true.
reroll,
You can
reroll.
reroll. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
Way
a 9.
better.
That's much better.
Not only is no one coming up behind you, you notice that her right hand is sneaking behind her back to where you saw she had some sort of small high-tech laser pistol earlier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit her with the stun baton.
Okay. Let's roll initiative on this one because this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
the 2 of you are thoroughly prepared. for it.
Aware.
We're
So-
both very aware, and I think like as he's doing it, he's just like, bummer.
So it's a D8 plus dexterity. She starts with a 7.
Okay.
This is for initiative
D8.
order.
Where's the D8?
D8's up here.
There's a field view.
Alrighty.
By
I
chance,
have
the person
0
most likely to be
dexterity.
in combat.
6 plus
Okay.
0.
Okay, she's gonna get the drop on you.
Bummer.
What is your AC?
I have the woven body armor.
So that's a 5.
I think that's okay.
Okay, so she is looking at a +5 +2 for 7, +1 +1. That's +9, so she needs to hit an 11 or higher on this.
He just hits
Yep.
it.
Michelle's gonna die.
It teetered on like a 3 for a second.
How many-
Michelle's
how many
going to
points you
die.
have?
4.
Yeah, you could
Really?
survive this.
Are you dead?
God.
Technically.
Don't die.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if Michelle just gets killed.
I mean, you tried to betray the boss. You have a 50-50 chance. She needs to hit
Oh, man.
1, 2, or nope, you're smoked.
Oh!
Silently. Not like the big Battletech lasers. This is just she whips the gun out, just smokes you on the spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like we just see the laser, like maybe we see the shot from like behind, so we just see like
The light.
a beam of light like go through Michelle's head and then just like
No, I
crumple.
want it to go through the chest so that you can
Oh.
have a dying moment of clarity as you're going
Excellent.
down. You can taste your own blood pooling from out of your lungs. As you're lying on these beautiful hardwood floors next to Audrey Lafayette. You've fallen next to a bust statue of like her favorite aunt. What are your dying thoughts, Michelle, as you
Yeah.
plan to betray Lachlan McDougal and his top new agent has instead betrayed you first?
Michelle is like we get that effect where like it's supposed to like simulate like lungs filling with blood, but he can still talk if for some reason, right? Where he's like
Yeah.
he's like wheezy and like coughy, but he can still and he's
You still
kind
have a
of
whole
letting out
functional one lung.
right, like he's letting out this kind of wet chuckle, right? He's like and then he just looks up at her and he just goes, some people are still loyal to that asshole. Who would have thought? And then he just dies.
She looks down at your body, closes the door to the study, stuffs the floppy disk drive in her suit pocket, and says, well, when they find you tomorrow, they'll probably think you did all this alone. And then she heads back out to she like heads back out to the Land Rover and gestures for the two of you to join her. She's like, come on, we gotta go.
What? Where's Michelle?
Michelle has to stay behind.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, drive. Get in, drive.
Is there like a?
There's definitely something wrong here. I mean,
Yeah.
you smell ozone, which is a clear indicator
Yeah.
that she just fired her laser pistol.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think we drive.
Just to be clear,
Uh,
though, she knows that you know that she knows. All of you know what has happened.
Yeah. So like, I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
Did she get the data though?
Yeah, she
Yes.
has the data.
All right.
Yeah.
That's-
So I feel like Goon.
She's counting on the fact that you guys don't care enough about Michelle and are
Yeah.
perfectly willing to scrap the plan now that it's toast.
Yeah, payout's payout. I mean, this is how there's some level of like, that's a bummer. Michelle was a good friend in Goon's mind, but like they're not going to make a scene here, right? So they're gonna drive off.
Yeah.
And I think like as we leave the area.
So hold on. You get to the guard gate exit, and the guard at the exit is just like, you guys aren't scheduled to leave.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh.
She leans in next to you from the passenger seat and says, do
Pistol.
something. Do something.
Yeah, I think oh, yeah.
Like me.
We had a little bit of an issue, and I'm just gonna stump it on the guy.
You absolutely have to hit this roll, because if you fail, this guy isn't going to be surprised like everyone else. He's going to hit a button that wakes everyone up and lock you into this compound. So
Sure.
don't miss.
What am I trying to hit?
You have a +11 just like last time, so you need to hit a 9 or higher on a d20.
Okay, so got the D20 over here.
You
Do I have
also
any
need
like
to deal enough stun damage to knock him out, but that's a whole
that's
separate
a
issue.
whole separate thing.
While this is happening, I think just to throw this out there, when we kind of like left the pooling blood with Michelle's body, if there's a song that would be playing, and y'all can decide if it's still playing as you make your escape, it'd be this excellent classic French song.
I got a
16.
16 on the die.
All right.
Edith Piaf, yeah.
D8, you need to hit a 4 or higher.
Oops. That wasn't actually a roll. That was just me moving the cards. 7.
Once again, you get this guy in the throat as he falls backwards. She steps out of the car, hits the button to open the gate, and then like takes this guy, drags him inside, and then like slumps him over his desk and like pours his coffee out so it looks like he fell asleep while drinking.
This might be the right time.
Yeah.
If she
her back is to you. She's in the guardhouse. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
The gates to the manse are open. You can leave.
This is for Michelle.
Okay. All right.
You lit another cigarette. Yeah.
As Non je ne regrette rien plays. No, I do not regret anything.
Yeah, so I actually have this skill here though. So so I'm gonna get base attack bonus of 1 plus 1 plus 0
plus 9 because she's wearing the same level of armor these guards are, which is going to be very unfortunate for her in about 5 seconds.
So that's
plus
3,
11.
9, 12. So 12, 8 or better.
Come on, man.
5.
Fucking hell, you and your dice roll,
dude. Why do you wait for me,
your
man?
dice roll?
So which gun is this?
Look, man, like it's just this is why I don't bother optimizing characters. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I just roll a 12 or
you said at the beginning, I just need to roll better.
all right.
You can
Which gun is this?
Revolver.
Okay, you fire, a shot with the revolver. She
I
turns
miss?
around. We're all gonna roll initiative now. D8
Jesus
plus dexterity. I'm
to
doing
be
her
fair,
first.
in early levels, Stars Without Number, it's not like that crazy to just have round after round of combat where everyone's just missing each other.
Yeah.
Her initiative is 2.
4.
Okay, you're going before her.
I got a 4.
You guys can choose who wants to act first.
Let me go first, so I can just shoot her and drive. And you can drive.
But we need to get the data disk.
Oh yeah.
It's on her body. It's in her uniform pocket.
All right. Well, I'll shoot her and
then pull her into the car.
Well, if you guys
how about this? I shoot her, you pull her into the car, I drive off.
Okay.
If you manage to kill her, you can worry about how you get her into the car after.
That's
fair.
All right.
The jig is up. You fired a gunshot.
Yeah.
Things are going to get spicy.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fine. It's at the gate, so.
So Eddie, you're going first here.
Sure.
You have a plus 9 plus 1 plus 1 for a plus 11.
I am skilled in energy weapons.
Oh, you're switching to the energy weapon? Okay.
I'm using my laser pistol. Yeah.
Okay. Your laser pistol also gives you a plus 1 to hit. So
nice.
You need a 7 or higher.
Nice.
If you're using the laser pistol doesn't have burst. So.
What the fuck?
That's a 2.
It just spun around. Didn't even. I hate this dice roller.
You take a shot. She is in this room. She basically flings this guy's swivel chair in front, and you like burn a hole where you can see her face through it. And there's just like little piece of synth plastic and synth leather like eradicating itself as it drops before her face.
Jesus Christ.
So you don't hear a gunshot from your pistol, but you do hear the sound of like the crisp burning of the chair.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. It's down to fish.
9 or better.
You got to quiet her before she quiets you. That's a 9.
My God, dude.
Okay. Which gun is this? Revolver still?
Yeah, revolver.
Make your damage
revolver ocelot, just a straight up D8.
Mm-hmm.
A 6.
You got her. You hit her in the chest. She goes, "Ugh!"
I I think it's like it actually goes through the hole that I created. So it's like a clean shot that like
Yeah, and I shot the disc too.
dropping the body. Yeah. No,
I don't think you shot the disc. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't ruin yourself.
Cowards.
All right.
I've given you a lot so far. Just let this mission end well. I got to kill Michelle. I wanted to kill the rest of you later.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Yeah.
You hear like a flat siren.
Yeah, and then we drive off as the body's put in the car.
I'm gonna need to roll because the gates are closing in front of you as you're going for the body. They're locking the compound down remotely.
A driving roll?
Yes. Vehicles.
Vehicles. What stat am I using?
It's let's call it dexterity.
Not strength.
No, I don't think your strength. Your vehicle has hydraulics and suspension and power steering. Sorry, you don't.
You're not driving a big rig with no power steering. Like you don't need your strength.
Look, I'm trying to.
I know you got to respect the hustle, but no, you're looking at a +0, and you need to hit a 7.
All right, fine. All right, I'm using another thing, and I'm rolling across the table because I'm tired of this fucking spin jazz.
2d6.
Oh, 2d6.
Yeah, it's 2d6 for skills.
Oh.
Basically, have a
okay.
50-50 shot on this one.
What? I can't like.
You have to let go while you're throwing it. Yep, there you go.
That's a 9.
Got what you need. You
I got
pedal to the metal. Get this Land Rover out. The doors get scratched a little bit as the gates close in on it.
I drift as I go around a corner and like fucking just got it.
And in the back, Fish, it's just you with the data disk. Is there anything you want to do while he's busy concentrating on driving?
No, I'm not betraying him.
Oh my god.
There's been so many betrayals so far. I didn't know if we wanted to go out on yet another one.
A further one. No. We're getting out of here.
All right. In the days to come, Audrey Lafayette will die as intended. Her own people will cover it up as part of their continued plan to act against Lachlan McDougal. For the most part, the deaths of the 3 security guards and the infiltration plan are all blamed on Michel, the only known member to have been captured because his dead body was found in the house. The House of Lafayette dissolves as she had no heirs. So Lachlan has effectively removed a rival, but in the process gained all of her former employees' enmity and hatred. They will continue to act against him in the future.
It's also especially dark considering that, like, when before the time skip that we saw, like Audrey and Lachlan were like decent friends.
Right.
Now he literally just fucking offed her.
Lachlan McDougal killing allies in order to advance his position. This is new behavior for him.
Say it ain't so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, it's definitely like an escalation, right? It's like, you know, he could at least try to justify to himself with Bassett is like, you fuck me over, I fuck you over. Like,
right.
Like you pushed me to this point. Whereas like with Lafayette, it's literally just, it was more convenient to have her dead than alive.
So obviously Sam and Eric are old hands at Stars Without Numbers. Maybe a little rusty on 1E. I think it flowed very well. I think it matches up with Battletech pretty well if you remove psychics for the most part. I want to detach the mech part so that you gain, when you're in a mech, you gain experience towards your skills, right? Like every 3 missions, you'll get to choose whether you want to take a lower gunnery, lower piloting, or gain an SPA point. And we would retie bureaucracy, business, or stewardship towards the end of year goals. So this is my pitch to you, the players, and also to you, the audience, for why we should use Stars Without Numbers First Edition going forward, because it's better than Mech Warrior Destiny for being a Battletech game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I'm going to start with Eddie because he hasn't played Stars Without Numbers before. So This is a fresh experience. This is also extremely combat heavy. There was so much shooting for a Stars Without Numbers game.
And we had some social roles, you know.
As you can see though, is like you start to avoid shooting as much as possible because the shooting is way less predictable because it's a D20, not D6s,
right?
And almost everybody until about level 3 dies in one shot.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I definitely feel like there's another level of punchiness to this game, which I really enjoy. The skills make more sense to me. I think there's like a level of like skill distribution that's like it's kind of like it's a similar system to the Wises from like Mouse Guard, right? Where these like culture this kind of gives you this like level of understanding that others don't in those areas. But yeah, I liked it. I like the system overall. I think that if I were to contrast the two between like our Starforged and this, I think what's going to be interesting about this is that there's less of like, oh, you know, I guess like how do you build your character? I guess that's one of the things that I'm curious about with this is like how do you kind of keep moving and progressing in the character?
As you level up, you get more hit points, you can pick up more skills, and then different classes basically get better at different things at different rates. So like the expert gets more skills every level up, but doesn't get as many attack bonuses. The warrior gets less skills, but starts getting attack bonus. Your attack bonus goes up way quicker. So it makes it easier to hit people. And then the psychic gets more psychic powers.
Got it. Yeah, I feel like
Don't worry about it.
Irrelevant, but
I feel like the one thing that's interesting about this is that there is kind of a focus system. So like the classes, for instance, expert versus warrior, whereas I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, because you may know more about this than I do. Ironforge is a little bit more diverse than that, where it's like your features kind of define some of your specializations, but you don't really have a class, so you can kind of build out however which direction. Is that sound about right for you?
I think so. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but I think both flowed really well. So I mean, I'm a little torn. I'll definitely think about it a little bit more and like kind of review the core rulebook a little bit more too.
Yeah,
I liked it. It was fun.
You'll never hear me ever say a bad thing about Stars Without Number, dude. like I don't know. Like that's a great game.
But could you play Battletech in? Could you play Battletech
again
over Starforge?
Yeah,
of course.
There are two children in front of you, and you must choose one of them to receive special benefit. One of these two children are going to college. Who do you choose?
Either one is fine with me because it does, to me, like, again, like, it doesn't, like, I don't, okay, the words I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter, but like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to be flippant about it. It's just that like, we're going to be playing people of like these rich, expensive houses where the idea of like doing the debt runner economy part of like buying weapons and things like that just isn't what we're doing anyways. We're having hangars full of weapons all the time. Right. Like the concepts of like that part is, but like, the skill system's fine. Right. Like, again, like a simple resolution system for skills that doesn't feel like, oh, I plot point it, I edge it, would be great. That would be cool. Right.
Sam, you're our voice. We've got Eddie, who has no preference. We've got Eric, who also has no preference.
Oh my God.
What were your thoughts on this one shot and in general?
I mean, I'm a big simp for Kevin Crawford, so I always will be perfectly happy playing a Kevin Crawford game. I also quite liked Ironforged. I'd be perfectly happy playing that. My only question and concern, what does Ironforge look like when it comes to long-term play? Does it start to have trouble? Because I know that a lot of kind of Powered by the Apocalypse Forged in the Dark tend to be built around a smaller number of game sessions, whereas Stars Without Number handles just kind of going on indefinitely very well. And that's probably closer to our play cycle. Does anyone have thoughts or know anything about that?
I've never played it for significant longer, but like I know in normal PBTA, like the math for PBTA gets wonky as soon as you get like a modifier of +3 to your rolls. Like the challenges are very different. I don't know how fast you get to that in Starforge and stuff. Couldn't tell you.
Okay, so I mean I know it's really hard to like basically level yourself out of the game in Stars Without Number. It takes like a lot of work.
Right.
So I think that would be more. I would lean towards that for the mostly just so that we don't ever have to have this conversation again.
True, dude. True. All right.
As much as I'd be perfectly happy, but like if there's like a strong audience push towards one or the other, I'd be inclined to just say let's go with that.
Your audience loves shipbreakers, so like why not?
But that's second edition.
I am curious about
Your audience can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love you.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that was really mean.
Destroy him, audience.
I am curious about like I think to both your points, like we're definitely kind of on a longer cycle of legacy, and I'd be curious to see how that translates, right? So what's the progression like for a character in Stars Without Number versus Iron or Starforge?
Stars Without Numbers takes a long time. I couldn't tell you about Starforge.
Yeah, I know nothing about Starforge, but
me.
all I know is that in order for your character to start feeling like a powerful player in the game, at least level 5 or 6, and that can take 20 plus sessions.
Oh wow!
You level up to 10, and it's slow leveling, and like you feel pretty much like a fish, like a small fish in a big pond, until you get pretty high level.
So no power fantasies going on then, is what you're saying.
No, it's very like, I mean, there's plenty, like, don't get me wrong. You get good, like the things that you're good at, you'll be good at, but you're not going to be like a late stage Powered by the Apocalypse character where you roll everything until like level 8. And like that takes
Let's
forever.
put it this way. Look at how easy it was for you to dispatch guards with 4 hit points or less.
Right.
Regularly. Like, and you can get guns very easily that deal 2d8 damage. So you'd be looking at, like 10 or more damage. Being able to survive more than one gunshot for anyone but a warrior is probably like a level 3 plus thing.
Okay.
At least.
So like,
I mean, if I get unlucky,
messing around with like guns or anything like foot combat, very deadly in Stars Without Numbers. But then you end up with like 50 hit points, and you're like, I could get shot with a whole magazine. I'm okay.
But like if I roll average for an expert, it takes till level 3 to have 9 hit points. I still don't survive the average gunshot, like for a high powered weapon, until past that, right? So like that can give you an idea. Is like you'll be good at the things you're good at, but if the things you're bad at, you'll stay very bad at for a long time.
Got it. And then what's like let's say someone does get shot, is there like a death mechanic where you can still be recovered in some way, shape, or form? Like, so you get shot, but like, can you be
stars?
healed?
Yes.
If you go down
Lazarus
to 0
patches. Yep.
Yeah, if you go down to 0 hit points, you can basically be stabilized as long as you get Lazarus patched in a short enough period of time. I think it's like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, it's not 10 minutes, it's 10 rounds.
10 rounds. But it is like, it's a dangerous game, right? Like if you are in a situation like Michelle where you're by yourself and you get shot, chances are you're done.
Right.
It's not going to be like Destiny, where it's practically impossible for our characters to die. And frankly, it seems like it's pretty hard to die in Starforged unless you choose to.
Well, and I think that's kind of where it lends to the narrative of the character like lasting, whereas this is definitely more of like a numbers game, a little bit more of RNG in terms of like if you roll well. Whereas Ironforged, you kind of narratively decide as a group whether or not this is the time for your character to die at some level, which has its merits, right? Like if you're trying to tell a particular story, like that's valuable. But yeah, I think there's also value in the rolling the dice and just like seeing what happens, right? And I think that's kind of why we play these games at
All
some
right.
level.
So to take stock, we have Eddie, indecision. Eric, a very zen version of no preference. And Sam, you're saying that starts with that number slightly edges out. I'm going to release this episode publicly to the audience so that by next week, we'll know what their choice is. So Patreon, you're going to get burned slightly on this. You don't get your free week ahead of time for this one episode. So that we know next week going in, you know, you guys should talk during the week and do some homework thinking. And next week will be this is the system we're doing. Let's make characters and figure out our plots. As
Sounds
the three
good.
of you play the sons and daughters of the McDougalls.
I'm really excited. And I know we're running on time or close to time, but
Like 2 minutes.
yeah, I mean,
We're ahead of time if we're minus
It's
2
true.
minutes. Yeah.
it's true. In terms of like what's available to us with these kids, I know we were talking about in chat and stuff, but I just wanted to clarify with you, AP, because the Dragoon is still out there, and I'm very tempted to like see if there's a narrative angle that we can do, and maybe we can workshop this week.
You want to steal the Dracoon from your old character.
Well, I want it to be something more. It's like it was left. There was either something like left behind. It's in a vault, so I have to earn it in some way, shape, or form. But like,
You want to earn the Dracoon from your own character.
yeah, from my old character.
You
I think that'd
see
be
your
really cool.
old character giving up this machine that you yourself care so much about.
Well,
Listen, I'm willing to talk this further as long as you can sell me on why Anka would ever let it go.
okay. All right, I'll pitch it to you. I'll figure out a pitch.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't know what the pitch would be. That's your homework. Come up
Yep.
with a pitch for me.
All right.
Any closing thoughts for this episode? Thank you all for joining me for it, by the way. I know that
That was
You know.
fun.
it's crazy doing one-shots last minute.
Please,
No.
I live for this stuff.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to our spin-off show, Battletech Oath of Endosteel, McDougal Succession War.
It's not a spin-off show, it's the main show.
I mean, look, if there's anything that I've learned from anime, it's that you can add a semicolon and a new title.
spin it off, This is an
without
anime movie. Nothing we do
without
matters.
actually spinning off anything.
None of this is canon anyway.
It's just the new season.
Good point.
We just add
It's
a
like
colon onto it.
No, yeah. What's happened is we've moved to a different streaming platform, and now they want to add like the colon, the new name for our season.
It looks like Community.
Legally.
Exactly.
So it's legally distinct, right? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
got a
legally
colon.
distinct. It should be noted there was a massive Oath of Endosteel reference in episode 6 of King Arthur Pendragon 5.2.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Do I have to go watch it to get the reference?
Yes. I'm not going to
Okay,
tell you.
well.
I'm not going to spoil it for all the audience members that I'm also telling them to this.
Well,
My
I
hope
guess
is that
I'm
they'll
never
watch
going to see
episode
this
1 through
reference.
6 and then they'll be
Monks
stuck
brewing
on it.
primary beer. Please
Oh
let it be
my
the
God.
monks.
Oh my god.
Monks brewing primary beer.
I'm
That's what
thinking about
calling it.
primary beer now.
I
Maybe
have
that.
a,
Look, of course, it's never your second choice.
I have a buddy who, when he visited Ireland, he was supposed to do this with his friend, but then his friend bailed. And so he went and like spent like a couple days with this order of silent monks. And he says it was like the most miserable thing he ever did because he just wasn't allowed to talk for a couple days. And he
my
thought he
God.
was like going to have his buddy there to like soften that a little bit and just no.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah,
Why
the
would you-
silent monks of Haruka and their primary beer.
Yeah, they do brew beer though. So, there's that. Anyway.
I feel
That's all
like
I
this
got.
is the end, friends. I'll see y'all next week.
I'll
All
see you.
right.
Man, I just want to give a final shout out to Daylight Savings for ruining this show and making things harder for all of us. All right,
Every
that's it.
box our enemy.